The night air on the Untamed set was thick with silence, broken only by the soft rustle of robes and the distant chirping of insects. Lantern light flickered against ancient wooden pillars, casting long shadows that danced like spirits waiting to be summoned. No one on that set knew it yet, but history was quietly being written. Wang Yibo stood slightly apart, sword resting against his shoulder, his expression calm but guarded. Xiao Zhan adjusted his costume nearby, laughter bubbling softly as he joked with the crew. They were just two actors at the time, one known more for his stoic coolness, the other for his warm smile. No headlines, no global obsession, no idea that the single project would alter the trajectory of their lives forever. When the director finally called action, something shifted in the universe. The camera rolled, and suddenly Wang Yibo was no longer just Wang Yibo, he was Lan Wangji, silent, disciplined, restrained. Xiao Zhan stepped into Wei Wuxian's skin effortlessly, mischievous eyes sparkling with rebellion and heartbreak. From the very first shared glance, there was electricity. Not forced, not practiced. It was raw, natural, undeniable. Crew members noticed it immediately. There are moments in art that can't be taught or rehearsed, moments where chemistry explodes without permission. Every time their characters faced each other, the air grew heavier, like the world itself leaned closer to watch. A single look carried 1,000 unsaid words. A shared silence spoke louder than dialogue. Between takes, they were different but complementary. Wang Yibo was quiet, focused, headphones often wrapped around his neck, retreating into his own world. Xiao Zhan was expressive, thoughtful, the kind of person who made others feel seen. They weren't instant best friends, but there was respect, curiosity, and a subtle pull neither could explain. Long nights blurred into early mornings. Sword practice left bruises. Emotional scenes drained them to the bone. Sometimes Xiao Zhan would sit beside Wang Yibo after an intense shoot, offering snacks, trying to lighten the mood. Sometimes Wang Yibo would wordlessly hand Xiao Zhan a bottle of water, eyes soft but unreadable. Unspoken understanding grew between them. Then came the scene, the one that changed everything. It was meant to be quiet, just two characters standing on opposite sides of fate. The script was simple, but when the cameras rolled, something unexpected happened. Wang Yibo's eyes filled with emotion that wasn't written on the page. Xiao Zhan's voice cracked, genuine pain bleeding through his performance. When the director yelled, "Cut!" no one spoke. Some crew members wiped away tears. Others exchanged stunned looks. That wasn't acting, it was connection. Word spread fast once the Untamed aired. At first, it was a whisper online. "Have you seen their chemistry?" Then it became a wave. Clips went viral. Fan edits flooded social media. Every shared scene was analyzed frame by frame, every glance dissected, every pause replayed endlessly. Overnight, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan were no longer just actors, they were symbols. Fan events became oceans of light sticks and screaming voices. The first time they walked onto a stage together after the show's success, the roar from the crowd was so loud it shook the floor beneath their feet. Wang Yibo blinked in surprise. Xiao Zhan instinctively reached for his arm, grounding him. In that moment, they realized the truth. There was no going back. Interviews poured in from everywhere. Cameras followed their every move. Reporters asked the same questions repeatedly about their bond, their friendship, their experience working together. Wang Yibo answered carefully, choosing words like armor. Xiao Zhan smiled gently, redirecting attention toward the work itself. But fans noticed everything. The way Wang Yibo relaxed when Xiao Zhan laughed. The way Xiao Zhan unconsciously turned toward Wang Yibo in group interviews. The quiet understanding, the shared jokes, the comfortable silence. Behind the scenes, pressure mounted. Fame is a double-edged sword, sharp and unforgiving. Every move was scrutinized. Every rumor spread faster than truth. Schedules pulled them in different directions. Solo projects multiplied. Expectations rose like an unrelenting tide. There were days they barely spoke. And yet, whenever their paths crossed, at award shows, backstage corridors, rehearsals, it was as if time folded in on itself. A nod, a brief smile, a moment of familiarity in a world that suddenly felt too big. Then came the storm. Controversy, misunderstandings, online chaos. The kind that tests not just careers, but hearts. Xiao Zhan faced one of the hardest periods of his life, his name dominating headlines for reasons far removed from his work. Silence became louder than noise. During that time, Wang Yibo said very little publicly, but actions speak louder than words. A subtle mention in an interview, a song choice during a performance, a quiet show of support that fans recognized instantly. He didn't need to explain. True bonds don't require explanation. As the years passed, both men rose higher, breaking records, conquering charts, winning awards, stepping onto global stages once thought unreachable. Wang Yibo transformed into a multi-talented powerhouse, actor, dancer, racer icon. Xiao Zhan's voice echoed across continents, his performances touching hearts far beyond borders. They became global names. And yet, no matter how far they traveled, the Untamed followed them like a constellation, its light impossible to dim. At an international event years later, they stood on the same stage again. Older, more composed, stronger. When their eyes met across the crowd, there was a flicker of recognition of everything they had been, everything they had survived. The audience erupted, not because of nostalgia alone, but because some connections are timeless. Once in a lifetime, two paths cross at exactly the right moment. Once in a lifetime, a story transcends the screen and becomes legend. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan didn't just act out a bond. They lived the echoes of it, carried it through fame, adversity, and growth. The Untamed was the beginning. Global fame was the consequence. And the legacy they created together will outlive trends, noise, and time itself. Because some stories aren't meant to fade. They're meant to be remembered. The first day Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan officially rehearsed together, the atmosphere was cautious, almost ceremonial. Scripts were clutched tightly, costumes still stiff and unfamiliar. No one laughed too loudly. No one dared assume greatness. This was just another adaptation, another gamble in an industry that chewed up talent and forgot them just as quickly. Yet something subtle stirred beneath the surface. When they faced each other for the very first sword choreography rehearsal, the room went unusually quiet. The choreographer demonstrated the moves, sharp and precise, but once Wang Yibo stepped forward as Lan Wangji, his posture transformed instantly, spine straight, gaze steady, every movement controlled. Xiao Zhan watched closely, absorbing everything, then mirrored him as Wei Wuxian with effortless fluidity, playful but purposeful. Steel clashed. The sound echoed through the studio, louder than expected. Their timing was perfect, too perfect for two actors who had barely worked together. Every strike met its counterpart as if guided by instinct rather than practice. Crew members exchanged glances. Someone whispered, "They look like they've trained together for years." During breaks, they sat apart, studying scripts in silence. But every so often, Xiao Zhan would glance up, watching Wang Yibo rehearse alone, repeating movements over and over until they were flawless. Wang Yibo noticed the look and, without a word, slowed down, explaining a move with short gestures rather than speech. This was how their connection formed, not through loud conversations, but through shared discipline. Night shoots were the hardest. Cold winds sliced through layers of costume. Smoke machines filled the air, blurring vision and breath. The set lights burned relentlessly, turning exhaustion into something almost tangible. There was one particular night scene that demanded emotional restraint rather than explosive acting, a quiet confrontation heavy with unsaid truth. The director asked for stillness. No grand gestures, no dramatic tears, just eyes. When the camera rolled, Xiao Zhan let Wei Wuxian's pain seep through slowly, like ink spreading across paper. Wang Yibo responded not with words, but with silence so intense it felt like a scream held back. His eyes flickered just once, barely noticeable, yet devastating. Cut! No one moved. The director stared at the monitor, replaying the scene twice before finally exhaling. "That," he said quietly, "was it." From that moment, the tone on set shifted. The crew became careful, almost reverent, when preparing scenes that involved the two of them. They adjusted lighting more precisely. Sound engineers leaned in closer. Everyone sensed they were witnessing something rare, chemistry that couldn't be manufactured. Between takes, Xiao Zhan often stayed in character longer than necessary, humming softly, lost in thought. Wang Yibo would stand nearby, sword still in hand, eyes distant. Sometimes they spoke about the characters, what Lan Wangji would never say, what Wei Wuxian would joke to hide. Those conversations shaped the performances more than any script revision. One afternoon, during a difficult emotional scene, Xiao Zhan faltered. The weight of Wei Wuxian's loneliness hit harder than expected. His voice cracked, breath uneven. The director called for a pause. Wang Yibo stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Take a second," he said simply. That was all. But it grounded him. When filming resumed, Xiao Zhan delivered one of the most heart-wrenching performances of the entire series. Afterward, he avoided everyone, sitting quietly until Wang Yibo placed a water bottle beside him and walked away without looking back. That small gesture became legendary among fans later, but at the time, it was just human kindness. As filming progressed, their synchronization deepened. They began anticipating each other's movements, emotions, pauses. Improvisations emerged naturally, tiny changes that made scenes richer, more intimate, more real. Directors stopped correcting them and started trusting them. Then came the iconic scenes, the ones fans would later replay endlessly. The rain-soaked confrontation, the quiet night walks beneath lantern light, the long, painful silences where love, loyalty, and fate collided. Every time the camera stopped rolling, the crew erupted into hushed praise. Some scenes took only one take, not because they were simple, but because repeating them would have ruined the magic. No one spoke openly about it, but everyone knew. This drama was different. By the time filming wrapped, exhaustion clung to them like a second skin. The final day arrived quietly. No grand speeches, just hugs, photos, and reluctant goodbyes. Wang Yibo bowed respectfully to the staff. Xiao Zhan thanked everyone repeatedly, voice thick with emotion. They stood side by side for one last photo. Two young actors, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. When the Untamed finally aired, reactions exploded beyond anyone's expectations. Servers crashed. Hashtags trended nonstop. Fans stayed up all night watching, crying, screaming, falling in love with a story that felt alive. And at the heart of it all, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Their performances didn't just tell a story. They became the story. What started as a single project transformed into a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon, one that would follow them long after the final episode faded to black. This was only the beginning. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow fans, comment your favorite moment from the Untamed, and subscribe to the channel for more unforgettable stories like this. Your support keeps these stories alive. See you in the next one, Glowing Star.